Chris Allen, and this is the Chris Allen MMA Show. Today I'm being joined by, well, can only be said as one of UFC's veterans, pioneers, whichever way you want to put it. He's the happiest man in mixed martial arts. It's Mr. Smilin Sam Alvey. Sam, how you doing, my friend?
Hello. Hey, thank you for having me on, sir.
No, thank you for joining us here in the UK, mate. Obviously, I appreciate the time difference. You've got a family to look after, as we can see as well. You know,
yeah, little man. He's ready for a nap. He just won't go down, so I get to hold him.
That's all right, man. Well, it must be nice in one way of being locked down. You get to spend quite a bit of time with the family.
Yeah, being a fighter, it's not much has changed for me. But before the quarantine and all that, they went with me everywhere, and now during the quarantine, they're still going with me everywhere. My kids are all kind of young. They're 6 is the oldest, and then 9 months is the youngest.
Nice, man. So you're building up your small little UFC army there, I see.
My army. I'm building the team. Yeah.
That's it. Well, watch out, Ultimate Fighter House. You following your father's footsteps. So obviously, a lot of people ask this question, and I'm going to ask you it first, just to get out of the way there. So who gave you the nickname? We know why they call you Smiling Sam, but who actually gave you the nickname, or is it something you gave yourself?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm always against giving yourself a nickname, so I'm sure I didn't do it. I think it was probably my dad that said it first, but I don't remember. I don't exactly remember. I think it was him.
Fair enough. So all of a sudden it's like you're always obviously you're always happy. You're always smiling when you're in there. Not many people get punched in the face and keep smiling at people, mate.
Hey, I'm the only job in the world where I get paid not to get punched in the face.
That's it, man. Love it. Absolutely love it, mate. And where did obviously when you win your fights as well, what's the finishing pose at the end? It's the butterfly. What was it called again?
The raging butterfly. Yeah, that was a buddy of mine. We used to, anytime we did anything, we were on a team, and we all get to pick team names. And it was either he or me. I don't remember which one of us made the names first, but we came up with the raging butterfly. And we the little hand signal and everything works. We do it together, and it's just always been the case. And now I get to do it on TV, and he's jealous as hell.
Yeah, yeah, but it must be nice to have something like that to remind you of like your past times and things like that.
Oh yeah, and he loves that other people do it now too. He loves that it's on a T-shirt. He loves that it's in a video game. He's a big fan of the whole pose, the whole Smilin' Sam thing that's going on. Hey kids, zip it. And you too.
Nah, they're okay, man. It's all part of the fun. At least it's keeping you busy at home, mate.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the easiest weight cut whenever I fight next ever.
Yeah, I bet, man. Oh man, I feel bad. I feel like I should be leaving you to it.
I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
I feel bad. I feel I should be leaving you to look after your family.
No, I'm happy to do this. I like I said, I thought he was gonna be asleep. He's just not, and then my other kids shouldn't be in here at all. Yeah, kids, go.
See, still says it with a smile on his face, though, man. Absolutely love it, man. So one thing I admire about you, and I think that gets quite overlooked with yourself, Sam, is that you've had 46 fights in your pro career, and you've done that over 12 years. You've done that over 12 years.
I've got over 70 fights total. So
okay.
I've got that professionally, and then I have 6-1 as an amateur, and then I'm 6-1 professional Muay Thai as well, and then I had 16 pancration fights. And I've done a bunch of those overseas, and I've got a couple fights that just aren't on any records anywhere too. So I've been fighting as often as I can. This last year has killed me. I turned 33 and I've only fought one time. I was supposed to fight Shogun. I broke my hand. I was supposed to fight Khalil, and the coronavirus killed everyone. And now I'm just waiting for the call for the rematch against Khalil.
Yeah, because I was.
Zip it.
He's all right. How old is the little one?
What's that?
How old is the little one?
He is 9 months.
No, congratulations, man. It must be lovely. But I've got my first one on the way, hopefully about 6 months. So that'll be nice as well.
Is it going to be a little boy or a little girl?
I don't know yet, mate, but it doesn't matter. The UFC has male and female divisions, so it doesn't bother me either way. He's
That's right. And we did the same thing. We never knew. We waited till they were born to find out what their sex was.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice surprise at the end of it, you know. And there's plenty of unisex items you can buy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's amazing. So I'm even more impressed now because obviously I thought 46 pro fights. Obviously, you fought a lot more now, which is even more incredible, man. You know, and
Yeah.
how do you stay fit and healthy? Because a lot of fighters will struggle, you know, with certain injuries and things like that, you know, or just general body wear and tear. What do you
Yeah.
do which keeps you going like a Terminator, man?
I blame genetics. My dad and mom must have something in their DNA that just gave me all the right parts. I mean, I've had my injuries, and honestly, I fought through a lot of them. I fought Daniel Kelly without an MCL. I fought Talis Laidas. I tore my syndesmosis ligament. I see Carl Amasua had a broken rib. I I wanted to go through with the fight with Shogun, even with the broken hand, but my coaches got the better of me.
Yeah, man.
So,
I think it's yeah, man. You're too used to fighting all the time, too active.
oh, I know it's killing me, all this downtime. Man, I keep joking. So, dude, I haven't worked since July.
I know, and I've seen times where we're talking back maybe 10 years ago. You were fighting sometimes 8 fights in a year. I remember one time.
I think I had one that was 12 in a year.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I believe I had one in a calendar year, not a January to January. It was like started in March and ended in March. I think I had 12 in a year, and I was so beat up at the end of that year. I mean, I broke my wrist in that year, and I didn't know about it for years. And eventually, I went and had my hand X-rayed and said, "Hey, when did you know you broke your wrist?" He said, "Really?" I said, "When?" So I don't know. And my wife actually remembered there was a fight. I fought for a title, and it was like my hand was just killing me. I couldn't punch with it, so I kicked a lot. And I used the other hand. I remember I went into that fight, and I wish I could remember who it was, but I went into that fight knowing that my hand was jacked up or something was hurt, but it was good for one punch. So I just had to make sure I used it that one time. And I remember I used it the one time, and it hurt so bad, but it landed. I got the knockout.
Yeah, man. I say you're a tough person, man. In that cage, like no one can take that away from you. And people need to understand the people you fought as well in your career is unbelievable. Like you got people like you gave Eric Spicely, I think his first loss, you know, and that was in the first round. You did that, you know. You beat Rashad Evans, like one of the legends of the sport. It's just these names get offered Shogun Hua, you know, things like that must be fantastic to look back on, like as massive achievements already.
I love having the list of fighters that I mean. Rashad Evans, he was one of the first Ultimate Fighters. Little Nog, I got to fight him. I didn't beat him, but I got to fight him. And he just to be able to list off these people that everybody in the MMA world know is just so much fun.
Like what people need to remember is you're definitely up there with these veterans, these pioneers of the sport, man. Like as I said, you've been around for so long. Like I'm so fight all the time. You're that active. I actually forget how long you've been in the sport because you're so active. You know, you feel like he's on next month. You have twice in a month, 3 times in a month. I've seen it on your record. You know.
Yeah, I love fighting. My last 3 fights before I was in the UFC, they were all within 30 days. It was May 9th, May 29th, and then June 6th. And then I got in the UFC after that month. It was a good one.
That was pretty cool, man. But well, starting off a bit earlier in your career, obviously you had a great start to your career, you know, build up that took you into Bellator, which, you know, wasn't so known in the UK at the time, but was big in America. Like when you got that phone call for Bellator, were you like, right now this is the step up in competition? What were you thinking?
I was still in Wisconsin, and was I still? I might have just left for California, and no, because I never knew there was a step up in competition. I beat everyone in Wisconsin. I thought I was as good as this is awesome. And so then Bellator said they'd pay me. I said, holy hell, I've never made any money. This is going to be great. And so that was the big thing for me is, man, if I win this fight, I'm going to get $20,000. What am I going to do with $20,000? And it was just that was, I remember that being the biggest exciting part of it.
Yeah, I bet, because obviously, I'm not trying to say back then, trying to make us sound old because we're similar age, but I mean, you know, back then the money wasn't the same as it is nowadays, you know.
No, not at all. And all these young punks, they said, "Oh, I don't want to fight for less than $1,000." Less than $1,000. I have 12 fights where I made like $250 in gas money. So you guys complaining about making $1,000. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Like the amount, I do a bit of matchmaking for some UK organisations, and the amount of people that would turn down fights just because it's not enough money. I said, don't you want to build your record and get on the big show? You know?
Yeah, and my team here out here in Team Quest, I run my amateur team, and I've got a good group of guys, and all my guys are just, we'll fight anyone. I don't care if we make any money, just line it up, and they're the ones that are hard to get fights for. Nobody will fight them.
Yeah, that's the problem. They see the killers and they get a bit scared. They're trying to protect their fighters' records, if you see what I mean. The problem over here.
We get a lot of last minute calls. It's like, hey, would you fill in this weekend? I said, let's do it, guys.
Nice. So what sort of age range have you got your amateurs around at the moment?
For the most part, they're all pretty young. The amateurs are all pretty young. My younger pros are pretty young. Like under 24 for the most part. I've got 3 guys that turned pro like the weekend before the whole world shut down. And so now they're just itching to get back in the cage, but they can't. One guy, he was scheduled for Bellator. He's going to be main card Bellator, and it got canceled. And it was at the end of May, and he was excited. It was a tough fight. It was going to be a good one, and it got canceled because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, man, such a pain. Obviously, UFC London was literally 2 weeks away. You know, coming in the UK, which we look forward to every year. But it is what it is. They've cancelled the soccer here, the Euro tournaments. They've cancelled the Olympics, and I guess it is a serious thing. These organisations stop as well. But Dana White's looking at putting an event on quite soon, isn't he? In May.
He is May 9th, and then every weekend after that, it's going to be great.
Surely you've got to be lined up for the first one back.
I am, because I was supposed to fight a weekend after London, and now that didn't happen, I got put on the short list. So the next fight that's available, I'm hopefully going to get on. Yeah,
man, that would have been a fantastic. When I saw the Khalil Roundtree, that would have been a fantastic fight. You know, between the both of you as well. Great. Well, he obviously had a bit of went away to Thailand, I think, and did a bit of training in Muay Thai.
Yeah, I think he's stuck there. I don't think he can get back to the States. But yeah, I suppose if you have to be stuck somewhere, Thailand's a pretty good place to get stuck.
Yeah, that's it, man. There's still plenty of they don't need training partners over there. They kick trees and poles and
trees. Yeah, nature is their training partner.
That's it, 100%. But what must have been cool? So how did the Ultimate Fighter come around for you then? Like the call up for UFC, and did you know much about what the Ultimate Fighter was at that time?
I tried out a few times. I went out. I tried at 205, and they cut the 205. So I went and tried 85, and they cut the 85. And then they called me and said, "Hey, we're doing 170. Can you make 170?" And I said, "Yeah, okay. Let's do it." So I made it to 170 twice, and it was a bad decision. Oh, the Ultimate Fighter was a great decision, but getting to 170 was very hard. It was very difficult.
Yeah, I bet, man. Because I said you're a big guy. You know? Getting down to that weight muster, that's been an absolute nightmare. But what was it like? You know, a lot of people haven't. You all see reality TV and stuff, but you guys are fighters. You're tough guys. You know, like what's it like being a reality show star at some point?
You know, people always hate my answer because it's not what a lot of people say. I thought it was about the most boring 6 weeks of my life. I mean, there was nothing to do. You don't work out nearly as hard as you do when you're home. You get like 1, maybe 2 workouts a day, only 4 or 5 days a week. And otherwise you're stuck with a bunch of fighters, and fighters only like talking about fighting. So I got to talk about fighting for 6 weeks with a bunch of guys that are about the same level. So it was really boring. I built chessboards. I built checkers. We had pool stuff. We did everything we could to just try and pass the time.
Fair enough, man. I was going to say, I bet it couldn't be that interesting. I know they'll let you watch if there's a UFC event on and stuff like that, but apart from that, no contact.
There was, but when I was on the Ultimate Fighter, there weren't nearly as many UFC events. And one of the UFC events that was on was Hendo versus John Jones, which got canceled the week of the fight because Hendo broke his knee. So we didn't even get that. We were so excited about it, and then it got canceled.
Typical. The one thing you probably had to look forward to the whole bloody week, and then look what happened.
We were so excited for it.
Yeah, but it must have been quite mad though, waking up to a camera in your face and all that sort of stuff as well. Like, you know, someone's following you, like Big Brother's following you. You know.
Yeah, they always, and we weren't allowed to talk to the cameraman, but it was kind of funny. We got to know the cameraman without ever getting to talk to him. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun thinking we were someone special.
Yeah, that's cool. Just you're gonna have to remind me. My memory is shocking. Who were the coaches on that show? Yeah.
Shane Carwin and Big Country. Shane Carwin was my coach.
That geezer was an absolute. He's massive. That geezer was. He that's someone who can hit hard. Definitely.
Oh, Shane Carwin is just massive. Actually, the design of the UFC gloves are because of him. He designed. He couldn't get his hand into them, so backstage with the commission watching, they had to cut him. They cut the wrists of the gloves to get his hand in, and then retaped over, and that designed the UFC's glove.
Because didn't he even have bigger hands than Brock Lesnar? I think he had.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Brock could fit into 4X, and Carwin could not.
What do you wear, if you mind me asking?
What's that?
What size do you wear, if you mind me asking? Gloves.
I wear extra large.
Okay. I thought you were. I would have thought you were larger, to be fair, because you're quite a massive geezer. Do you know what I mean? But there you are.
Yeah, no, I'm extra large. Oh my goodness, Charles.
Oh, is everything right? He's getting tired.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get going. He's starting to get real fussy, and I got to figure out something to do with him.
All right. No, okay, I'll tell you. I won't keep you for too much longer, man. Okay, because what I'd like to learn about of you guys as well quickly is like how did you get into MMA, man? How did you get into combat sports?
I stumbled into it. Yeah, I stumbled into it. I didn't know anything about it. I never watched it. Didn't watch boxing. Wasn't into taekwondo. Didn't really wrestle. Somebody said, "Hey, there's a cage. You want to fight?" Yeah, okay. Went and got beat up pretty bad the first fight. And then I said, "Oh, let's do that again." Then I just beat everyone up. Won a couple tournaments. I ended up turning pro, and where I was getting paid $250 in some gas money. I didn't know about the UFC until I was probably 7-1 as a pro. And I said, okay, let's try and get there. And eventually I did. I always like to say I stumbled my way into the UFC.
Oh, man, little one. I'll tell you what, man. I'll keep it quickly, mate. See, the little one was.
Yeah, sorry. Don't mean to.
No, I don't apologise at all, man. You've got a family, man, to look after. You know, we can. I'm sure we'll talk again in the future at some point. But
yeah, absolutely.
But what I want to talk to you just very quickly is, I've been watching you on Instagram all this time, like through this coronavirus situation. You've been keeping my days more interesting. Tell us about the coronavirus monster and.
Yeah, like the Corona monster. That jerk. He's just been popping up. He keeps me pretty honest. He makes sure I don't do anything I'm not supposed to. He's training. He's getting stronger. It's, you look at the first video and it's just a toddler. It might have been him. And now we've got, oh man, he's doing pull-ups and windshield wipers with his legs, and he's pretty deadly at this point.
Nice, man. Yeah, I recommend everyone check it out. You've got Sam and his proper quarantine gas mask, full on. There's a coronavirus, and I'm guessing you're doing it as well to keep the kids entertained.
Oh, the kids love it. I probably like it more than them, though.
That's what we love about you, man. Well, before I let you go, just give a shout out to any of your gym partners. I know you train with Joe Daddy and people. Anyone that's helped you get to where you are today, mate, and where people can follow you on social media.
Jared Bandera, he's been one of my main training partners for years now. Tom Galicchio, Dan Henderson. These guys are just incredible athletes. They push me. They're UFC talent. I mean, Dom Reyes, he's one of my main training partners too.
Nice.
Jamal Pogus. They're just, I've got a wonderful plethora of people around me that just help me get better every week.
Perfect, man. Love it, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time. You're even giving people like myself all the way across the water, mate. When you've got your kids in your hands, that's it, man. This is why you can fight so often, mate. You can do more than 12 things at once, man. That's why
I can do it all.
Well, Sam, thank you very much from the UK, and one day we'll have another catch up again, and we'll have a little bit of a further chat, mate. But thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate you taking the time out when you've got all the family and everything, sir.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you very much for having me on.
No worries. Anytime, mate. Have a great time, and I can't wait to see you back in that case, sir.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Oh, man, I can't wait. It's going to be smiling faces, but bloody faces on the way down. Cheers, fella. Thank you, sir.
Hey, catch you later, my friend.
Bye-bye, man.